Hey guys, welcome to a new episode of Matthew Sports Talk. Decided to prop up my phone using my laptop. A little bit of a different angle today for the talk episode. As you can see, new wall additions. We got a Karl Anthony Towns jersey. And then we also have a new Wolves pennant. So, and then I also hung up the Santa hat. So, yeah, let's start with those Minnesota Timberwolves. So I didn't do an episode. My last episode was the Vikings post-game reaction. I was going to do Christmas Day, but I wasn't feeling up for it. My boyfriend and I were doing stuff, so. Starting off, they played Monday in Miami. Lost 113 to 110. I didn't bring up the stats, but they did play last night. It is officially almost 3 a.m. Thursday morning, the 29th, so, sorry. I found out it wasn't a cold, it was an upper respiratory infection that I'm going through, so, still lingering a little bit, but I'm getting over it. Last night, Wolves lost 119 to 118 to the New Orleans Pelicans down in New Orleans. So, a 3-point loss on Monday and then a 1-point loss last night. Edwards and Russell combined both had 27 points each. McDaniels had 18. Rudy had a quiet night, 10 points, 8 rebounds. Noel had 14 points in 24 minutes. Reed had 13 points in 25 minutes. The story of the game, though, Zion Williamson of the New Orleans Pelicans, 43 points. So, and obviously a 1-point loss, the overall stats are going to be pretty similar. Shooting, Wolves 50.6% versus 48.1% for the Pelicans. 35 rebounds for the Wolves, 43 for the Pelicans. 58 points in the paint versus 52 for the Pelicans. And then one thing the Wolves had going for them in the game, 30 bench points versus 11. So, Wolves have a back-to-back. Friday they're at Milwaukee, and then they come back here to play against Detroit. If they can steal one in Milwaukee, that'd be great. I mean, they should beat Detroit. Emphasis on should, because Detroit's absolute garbage. Sorry, guys. So, yeah. Moving towards football, I just have to play this clip. This was from First Take this morning.
In the right direction because 2 games remaining. The Packers must win both of their games, and either the Commanders lose one of their final 2 games or the Giants must lose both of their games, giving the Packers a 37% chance to make the playoff. Is still intact.
Let me replay that for you guys. So this is the Packers playoff path. This is what needs to happen.
And this is a little bit of a positive shift in the right direction because 2 games remaining. The Packers must win both of their 2 games, and either the Commanders lose one of their final 2 games or the Giants must lose both of their games, giving the Packers a 37% chance to make the playoffs, according to ESPN Analytics. Here's a hopeful Aaron Rodgers.
We do not care what Aaron Rodgers says. So, first of all, Chris Canty. This is what he says.
Chris, should they be favored?
Hell no. Why are we going to favor the Packers? Because they've won 3 games?
I don't know.
All right, let's look at their 3-game win streak. I mean, they beat the Bears and they beat the Rams, 2 teams that have combined to be 8-22 this season. And they beat a Miami Dolphins team who, coming into last Sunday's game, had lost 3 straight. And their quarterback may or may not have been concussed in the 4th quarter where he threw interceptions on 3 consecutive drives. Why am I going to give the Green Bay Packers any credit?
Thank you.
I'm not going to do it.
Thank you, Chris Canty.
I'm on the body. I think it's overall health. I don't. What word?
Well, I started with you. That was fantastic. All right, Amber, what about you?
Yeah, I haven't been giving the Vikings credit all season long, right?
Yeah.
It's one of those teams, maybe
Right.
it's the Kirk Cousins effect that we've been questioning every single week, and all they do is win and win and win and win 12 times. I've seen a lot more of that from them than I've seen from the Green Bay Packers that are sitting below 500 right now. No, absolutely.
Thank you.
Packers should not be favored, even though they're at home against this Vikings team. So I'm finally willing now, as we sit here ready to give the Vikings something. The Vikings streak needed the teams of the New York Giants, and then it did final receptions were. It's not like cut down the margins. I just think the advice. All right. I mean,
Okay, and here's Mad Dog. Let me pull up 1 second. All right, so here's Mad Dog.
Let's give him a little betting advice, all right?
All right, let's hear it.
Forget the point spread because there's only 3.5. Life on the line. You got to get the game right. Who are you taking in the game?
What time is the game?
4:25.
No. First of all, throw out the time of the game. That doesn't matter. Because the first game the Vikings played against the Packers this season was a 3 o'clock game, and we won that one. So, throw that out the window. Yes, the Vikings got their asses whooped by the Dallas Cowboys a month ago, but, you know, we're talking about the Green Bay Packers, first of all. A team that is under 500, that is playing for their lives, playoff lives. Not the Dallas Cowboys, a team that's contending to win the NFC East and potentially going to the Super Bowl. So let's just remember that, first of all. Mad Dog. Second of all, keep on going.
Probably lean toward Aaron Rodgers.
No. Dude, this season, Kirk Cousins' stats are way better than Aaron Rodgers, especially when it comes to fourth quarter. You lean Kirk Cousins over Aaron Rodgers this season. You can't argue with me on that. So, anyway, continue.
We're talking about a Vikings team that routed them 23-7, and I understand that was months ago, and everyone's like, "Oh, the Packers, they figured it out. These rookie receivers, they're coming along. They haven't figured anything out." Listen, all your sports arguments are normally always, harkening back to a different era. All of a sudden now, you're gonna live in the moment with a 3-game win streak for a bad Packers team. What are we doing?
If my life's on the line,
You're going with Rodgers.
I have to take Lambeau. I have to take Rodgers.
I'm right there with you.
And they
Power
won.
in the underdog.
And here's another one. They won 16 in a row in December. This team is one.
Mad Dog. That's December. The game's on January 1st. Can I smack him a couple times? I'm like, hello? The game is on January 1st. It is not in December. So that win streak does not apply. Let me just replay this again.
I have to take Lambeau. I have to take Rodgers.
I'm right there with you.
And they
Power
won.
in the underdog.
And here's another one. They won 16 in a row in December.
So what?
This team has won 16
So what?
games.
That's December. This is on January 1st.
Fan about the interceptions. When he started to throw the picks, the game was 2020. Biggest play of that game on.
Gosh. First of all, let me get my man. Where's my... Let me just run off some Stephen A. Smith sayings.
That is blasphemous. That is blasphemous. Stay off the weed. You're insane. What the hell is this damn weed?
Duh.
And y'all smoking
Crack.
Something is wrong with you people. What the hell has this world come to? I'm here to tell you right now.
We don't care.
You're insane.
Insane.
You just got caught. You just got caught. It's official. Holla at your boy.
Oh.
Favor, my brother. I'm gonna leave it to you because if I've been hoodwinked on television right now. Oh, but you didn't have to literally articulate it. The stuff that this man has done. Let's be nice.
Let's be nice.
We don't have to go there. I mean, you're not wrong. But
you didn't have to say it.
I mean, good Lord. Apologize for that.
Apologize for that right now. Apologize. This is what I'm going to make Dan Orlovsky, Mad Dog, all those people on First Take and Get Up who are saying crap about the Vikings that aren't true.
Apologize for that on national television right now. A trick question. I'm calling you out. I'm so sick of these people. You know.
Oh!
I've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, let it get on my nerves. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Here we go.
Play with it. I am having a very bad day. in no mood. This today is one of the worst days that I've had in
Yep. So, Mad Dog, I love you, but you only need to be on when Stephen A. Smith is on. Otherwise, you become Stephen A. Smith and say stupid shit. And Dan Orlovsky, I posted a rant because of Dan Orlovsky saying stupid shit. So, it's out there. Alright, so speaking of which, moving on to oh, that's the Timberwolves. So yeah, my custom keychain. Here. Moving on to the Vikings. Let's talk sorry, my feed. Let's talk the playoff picture. So we got 2 weeks left. So let's predict it. I'll just come out and say my predictions. We start off with Dallas and Tennessee. Tennessee is actually I think I got my playoff my updated power rankings. Yeah, Tennessee is in free fall. Tennessee is right there at number 23. They are down 6 spots, which is not pretty. Unlike the team that is currently leading their division, who is the same record as them, Jacksonville. I have at number 12. Tennessee's at number 23. So, yeah, not good. Dallas. My Cardinals and Falcons, I couldn't care less. It's in Atlanta, so Detroit, Chicago, Detroit, Jacksonville, Houston, Jacksonville, Kansas City, Kansas City, Miami or New England. You know, Tua's gonna be out. It's in New England. I'm gonna give it to New England. Giants and Colts. So this is one of the games that factors into the Packers if they can make the playoffs. So first off, Giants are at home. They have their defensive rank is 27th and Colts is 28th, so slightly better. Colts defense is better, but I mean, come on, I don't see it. Colts are terrible, you know. And Giants could have beaten the Vikings if we're being god honest, so I'm going to pick the Giants. Saints and Eagles. Now, supposedly Jalen Hurts is going to be trying to play, which makes this game interesting. If not, it's Gardner Minshew. He did play well enough to beat the Cowboys. It's just mental errors that caused them to lose that game. I'll come back to that one. Buffalo at Cincinnati. That should be a good matchup. Buffalo has a slight statistical edge, but it's in Cincinnati. I like Cincinnati. Baltimore and Pittsburgh. That's actually going to be my upset pick. I'm picking Pittsburgh. I'm not Baltimore with Tyler Huntley. I mean, Lamar, I think, is supposed to be back, but God, Baltimore's offense is god-awful. Like, on this 17th, yeah, not that great. Rams at Chargers. Chargers, not even a question. Vikings, Packers, I'll get back to. Jets and Seahawks. It's an interesting matchup. Both teams are kind of on the downward trend, especially the Jets. Jets have the slight statistical edge than Seattle. It's a tough one. This is a tough one. It's a toss-up for me, so usually toss-ups I give it to the home team, so I'm going to give it to Seattle. It's like by 3. Raiders at 49ers. Raiders have benched Derek Carr, so he might be done as a Raider. Yeah, 49ers, not even a question. Commanders and Browns. Interesting. So Carson Wentz is back in instead of Taylor Heineke for the Commanders. I like it how the playoff machine on ESPN gives the Commanders the old Redskin logo. It's in Washington. I've not been a fan of the Browns since Deshaun Watson's been back. I'm like, you guys have Nick Chubb. Why aren't you using him? I understand you got Amari Cooper, but Nick Chubb is almost as good of a player. Actually, Nick Chubb, in terms of running back potential versus Amari Cooper as a wide receiver, Chubb is better. So I don't know why they're not using him more. I'm going Washington. And then Carolina, Tampa Bay. Oh, Tampa Bay, congratulations. You beat, who was it? Arizona in overtime. Big fucking whoop-de-doo. You know, fuck. No, you know what? I'm going to say Tom Brady suffers. I'm going the Panthers. All right, and now we're back to the Saints and the Eagles. I have to give it to the Eagles. It's in Philly, and, you know, I think Gardner Minshew does enough to make them win. All right, so Vikings and Packers. Offense, Vikings offense versus Packers defense. Advantage us, obviously. I mean, we got Jefferson. We got Hawkinson. We have Thielen. We have Cook. We can... And the Packers defense has been overrated this season. So, 17? Yeah. Maybe on a good day, they're the 17th best. So, yep, advantage us. Defense, their offense versus our defense, I obviously advantage them. Our defense, while they've been clutch, I feel like Rodgers is going to have a good day statistic-wise. Special teams, us, Greg Joseph kicked a 61-yard field goal. Granted, it was indoors. But the Packers have had special teams problems for years. And I haven't really received much improvement. So, I give that to us. Coaching, ooh. I'm going to say even. KLC has been a great coach. LaFleur has regressed a little bit. So, I'm going to give that an even slot. And then intelligibles, obviously, it's in Green Bay. But it's supposed to be mid-30s. And it is January, which, let me check something. Green Bay Packers record in January.
The Packers are in third place in the NFC North with 7 wins and 8 losses for a winning percentage of 47%.
Okay, here we go. Stat Muse. Okay, so since 1983, the Packers are 10-4 in January. And their 4 losses, yeah, all 4 of their losses came on the road. So they've won every single game. But let us look at their games against the Vikings. I mean, last year, let's throw out last year, the 37-10 loss, because Kirk Cousins wasn't playing in that game because of COVID, so throw that out. Go back to 2016. Vikings beat the Packers 20-13. I think that was for the division. 2016? Oh, no, maybe not. I'm not sure. But yeah, no. But the Vikings have beaten Green Bay there. I think maybe in December to win the division. So, yeah. So, yeah, the Vikings are 1-1 against the Packers in January. In the regular season, that is. So. But, yeah, I mean, if you had playoffs, like, let me see. Green Bay Packers playoff results last 10 years.
According to StatMuse, the Green Bay Packers have a 7-8 record in the playoffs between December 10, 2012 and December 10, 2022.
All right, so if you put that, Green Bay Packers record in the month of January in the past 10 years. So, since 2012, the Packers are 5-2 in January. And then you add the 7-8, and that's a record of 12-10. And I'm sure most of them, let me see. So 4-2. So 4-0 at home. And then you go 5-0, 5-1, 6-1, 7-1, 8-1, 8-2, 8-3. 8-3, including the playoffs. But overall, 11. No, wait. I said 4-2, right? Since 2012. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4-2, yeah. So since 2012, 4-2 plus 7-8 is 11-10. That's not great, people. That is really not that great. So, I mean, like, yeah. Are you honestly saying it to me with a straight face? So, overall, that being said, my prediction will be Vikings 31, Packers 24. A touchdown. That's why I think it's going to be 4 touchdowns. 1 run in by one run in by Cook. I'm going to say 2 to Jefferson. JJ is going to have a big day, I think, because he had a big day the first game. And then I think Hawkinson's going to get like a red zone touchdown. So, Vikings are going to win that. And then the Packers are going to be out of the playoff picture, and we're not going to discuss it anymore. And then we go to week 18. I'll just do this quickly. Buccaneers and Falcons. Buccaneers, it's meaningful to them, so I'll say yes. Buffalo over New England. Vikings, so they'll miss out on the number 1 seed. Let's just see. So if they lose to Chicago and if San Francisco beats Arizona, what happens? They become the number 3 seed. Okay. So Vikings, well, obviously JJ, if there's a record to still be made, he'll go. So I'll say Vikings beat the Bears barely. I'll do that prediction next week. And then I say San Francisco over Arizona. Bengals and Baltimore. So Bengals actually are still alive for the number 1 seed because they're only 1 game behind. They're half a game behind Buffalo. Wait a minute. Oh yeah, no, that's right. I already picked that one. And they're a game behind Kansas City. So, I mean, they already clinched the division. I'm going to say Cincinnati wins. Green Bay and Detroit, I mean, Detroit might still be alive. I mean, they'll be 8-8. So, Green Bay, I think, would care less. They put in Jordan Love. I'm sad to say, I think it's going to be Detroit. Colts, Texans, again, doesn't matter. Colts. Jacksonville and Tennessee for the the AFC South. 8-8 Jacksonville versus 7-9 Tennessee. That is depressing. It's in Jacksonville, first of all. Jacksonville's offense is way better. It's going to be Jacksonville who wins the AFC South. Jets and Miami. Miami, the Jets are 7-9 and Miami's 8-8. Tua should be back. I think Miami does win that one. Seattle over the Rams. Kansas City still looking for the number 1 seed. Them over the Raiders. Chargers, they're pretty much, I think they would rather play Jacksonville over Buffalo or Cincinnati or whoever. So, I'm going to say they win over the Denver Broncos. Washington and Dallas. Washington, let me just see here now. Philly's going to rest starters, so Giants are going to beat them. So Tampa Bay's 8-9, and Carolina's 7-9, and New Orleans is 6-10. So division on the line. It's in New Orleans. I'm going to give it to New Orleans, and then let's see. Oh, nope. Tampa Bay wins the division. So, and then let me see, if Washington loses, that puts in Seattle. So yeah, and Dallas already locks up to the 5 seed, so I'm going to say Washington wins that one. And then that's it. So my projected final standings in the NFC: 1 Philly, 2 Minnesota, 3 San Francisco, 4 Tampa Bay, 5 Dallas, 6 Giants, and 7 Washington. Followed by Detroit at 9-8, Seattle at 9-8, and we could throw in Carolina and New Orleans for shits and giggles at 7-10. So, and then in the AFC, you got 1 Kansas City, 2 Cincinnati, 3 Buffalo, 4 Jacksonville, 5 Los Angeles, 6 Baltimore, and 7 Miami. There are some intriguing matchups here. I mean, you got, in the AFC, you have Miami at Cincinnati. That would be a good game. Baltimore and Buffalo, Chargers and Jacksonville could be potentially good. And then on the NFC side, I mean, Dallas, Tampa Bay rematch. I think Dallas could wipe the floor with them, but 49ers, Giants, I wouldn't fall asleep on the Giants. I mean, they're a good team. And then Washington playing the Vikings again at home. I should give it to the Vikings, but, you know. But currently, let's just reset. Let me see. Is there any tiebreakers? Oh, yeah. Cincinnati over Buffalo head-to-head. And then Philadelphia, obviously, over Minnesota head-to-head. So I'm just, NFL, ESPN has an option of picking for criteria. Win percentage, home team, away team, offensive rank, or defensive rank. I just selected, the only one that gave the Packers was defensive rank. And I put them in as the 7th seed. So they would play the 49ers in San Francisco. What irony. And the Vikings would still end up playing Washington, except for they'd be the number 3 seed. So, yeah. All right. Oh, yeah. And crap. I didn't grab my flag, but we'll just do this for the heck of it. Oh, wait, no. Here's what I could do. Hold the phone. Someone gave this to me. I got my free... Oh, yeah. So my birthday was on the 27th, 2 days ago, so happy birthday to me. I went to Caribou for my free coffee, and the barista asked me, someone left this, do you want it? One of the whiteout skull scarves. I'm like, yes, so... So, yeah. How fancy schmancy is that? Keeps me nice and warm. Alright, guys, so... Probably post-game reaction to the Wolves-Bucks game, and then maybe we'll see how tired I am after the Pistons game Saturday night. And then, yeah. Packers, Vikings, 3:25 p.m. on CBS on Sunday. I will be at family, so I probably won't do an immediate reaction, so I probably do that night. So stay tuned for that, guys, and see ya, and have a good night.